I have always had a great relationship with my younger brother, and now that we live together, I think he has a crush on me. I don't know what to do. My 19-year-old brother and my 22-year-old brother have always been very close. We have been each other's best friends since we were little. We have been through a lot together. Our parents divorced, some family members died, and there was even a devastating fire when we were very young. Even though we are adults now, we still rely on and trust each other very much. After high school, I went to college in another state. I was very sad to leave my brother, but apart from our parents' divorce, our family life had always been happy. He was still very upset about my leaving and didn't want to stay at home with me. I felt that his reaction was a bit unreasonable. I promised to call and come home to see him as often as I could. When my brother finished high school, he asked if he could move in with me. It was no surprise that he made this request. We lived in a small town, and the place I was moving to was a much bigger and more interesting city. Since he decided not to go straight to college, moving in with me seemed like the only chance to leave his hometown. I told him that we could look for a new place together when my lease expired. I was living in a studio apartment and didn't want to share such a small space with an 18-year-old boy. Eventually, we found a reasonable 2-bedroom apartment and moved in before I started school. At first, things were a little strange. He got really mad when he found out that I had been casually dating. He seemed to resent the fact that I hadn't told him. He was angry that we had grown so distant that I wouldn't even tell him I was dating, even if it wasn't a serious relationship. He asked me if I could stop bringing men home. When I asked him why, he said it made him feel uncomfortable. I told him that if I was just casually dating guys, I could respect his opinion, but if I was in a serious relationship, I would definitely bring my boyfriend home. He told me that we would see what happened. Well, we got to that point. I had a new boyfriend and decided to invite him over to my place. I didn't tell my boyfriend why. I insisted that we always hang out at his place, and he didn't ask. We had a huge fight, and my brother said that college guys just want sex and that I should focus on my studies. I couldn't believe this was happening. When I told him that I was an adult and could do whatever I wanted, he reminded me that he pays the rent and has the right to decide what happens in the house. We compromised, and my boyfriend could come over, but not stay overnight. I told him that this solution would work for now, but that we would need to reassess. He told me that everything would be fine. After 2 or 3 more arguments like this, I told my brother that if he didn't stop insisting on his way, I wouldn't live with him when the lease expired. He apologized, but still insisted that he was right. Finally, he told me that he would let me make my own mistakes. Unfortunately, things didn't work out well with that boyfriend. The reason we broke up had nothing to do with my brother. Of course, my brother took the opportunity to tell me that he was right and that I should have listened to him. Around that time, I called my mother and told her how strange he was. She insisted that he was trying to replace our father, who had not really been involved in our lives since the divorce. Even if that were true, I still don't think it justified his behavior. During the summer holidays, a friend of mine got married, so I went away for the wedding. When I got home, I noticed that some of my things were missing. For example, my perfume, some clothes, and lotion. I asked my brother, but he denied taking anything. He told me that some friends had come over, so they must have taken my things. He said he would take care of it and get my things back. He eventually returned my things to me, but I don't fully believe that his friends took them. After all, he didn't seem to be upset that my things were stolen. About a month ago, he told me that he had a girlfriend and wanted to bring her to meet me. I briefly considered making a scene, just like he did with my ex-girlfriend, but decided to be mature and told him it was fine. He arranged a grand dinner, cooked himself, and asked me to dress up. I was relieved that he had someone in mind and that he might not be as strange as he used to be. But when the girls showed up, I was shocked. He was in the kitchen when she arrived, so I opened the door, and it was like looking in a mirror. I could see that she was as surprised as I was at how similar we were. We both had platinum blonde hair, fair skin, green eyes, and similar figures. We were also about the same height. At dinner, we discovered that we had a lot more in common. She was studying the same subject as me, although at a different university nearby. We also liked a lot of the same music and behaved in a similar way. After she had gone, I asked my brother if he noticed how similar we were. He rolled his eyes and said I was weird. I don't know if that's true. He often brings her over, and they make out on the living room couch. When I asked him if they could go to his room, he accused me of being jealous that he wasn't making out with me, which confused both me and my girlfriend. At that moment, I started to feel like he seemed to want me to be jealous with her. If we weren't living together, I wouldn't think too much about it. I don't know if I'm just being paranoid. I don't want my brother to have feelings for me, especially if we live together. I don't know how to talk to him about it. Otherwise, he will just say I'm crazy, jealous, etc.
Please help me.
Top related comments commenter, when does your lease expire? I really think you need to move out. Whether he has feelings for you or thinks he's entitled to a paternal role, he's really crossed the line, and you really need to speak up for yourself. You are not his child and you are not his property, and he has no right to dictate your life in this way. In either case, you should not continue living with him because I don't think his mind will change no matter what you say. What should I do? Our lease expires at the end of next month. I have discussed renting a place with a friend. At the time, I was just thinking about it as a fun idea, but now I'm sure I'm not crazy and it does seem like a good idea. We have to give the landlord 30 days notice that we're moving out. So I guess I have to let him know soon that I'm not going to renew the lease. Update in 4 days. Thank you all for your comments and messages. I appreciate your concern for me and your confirmation that I am not crazy. I met with my future roommate and told her that I have officially decided not to live with my brother anymore. I told her everything that happened between us. We have an appointment this week to look at some houses and apartments. She also said that I can move in with her if I find the lease unbearable. On Friday night, my brother brought his girlfriend to the house as a guest, and they watched a movie in the living room. Someone suggested that I talk to him about it while she was home, because it was unlikely that he would fly into a rage. Just in case, I packed a suitcase full of valuables in case I had to book immediately. They watched a movie. He went into the kitchen to get them some snacks, and his girlfriend was still in the living room, so I thought it was a good time. That way we wouldn't have to talk about all our dirty business in front of her. But she would be there if he started yelling or something. I asked if I could talk to him alone. He seemed a little annoyed, probably because I was interrupting his date, but he said it was okay. I told him that I didn't think we were a good fit as roommates and that I wouldn't renew my lease with him next month. He asked why, and I said that he didn't seem to respect me as a roommate. I want to live with someone who will let me decide who can and can't come over to my place. I want to live with someone who will mind if their friend steals from me. He told me that he respected me more than the person I could live with. He said that it was because he respected me so much that he was being difficult about the boyfriend thing. I said that if he really respected me, he should let me decide for myself if the boyfriend was right for me. That's when he started getting louder and angrier, so his girlfriend came in to check if everything was okay. He told her everything was fine and that she should go. I was panicking and tried to downplay the whole thing. I said, "Oh no, don't let me ruin your night. Please stay." I was about to leave. He kept telling her to go. When I finally begged her to stay, he started laughing at me when he saw that I was a little scared. He asked me if I was scared of him and said I was being ridiculous. He asked his girlfriend if I had a legitimate reason to be scared of him. She seemed genuinely worried or confused and told him he was being weird. He explained that I had just told him that I was going to give up being his roommate and that I was a bad CNT. It was about something trivial. He asked his girlfriend to leave again, and she did. As soon as she was gone, he told me that I was just mad because he wouldn't let me be a big SLT. He told me that one day I would meet the perfect man, but he wouldn't want to date me because I had had sex with so many men that no decent man would want to marry a slut. He said he was trying to help me so that I wouldn't end up in that situation. I told him I was leaving and we could talk when he wanted to talk to me again, but only if he stopped saying mean things to me. I'll let my landlord know on Monday. I went back to my room, grabbed my bag, locked the door, and walked to the front door. As I was almost at the front door, he appeared almost behind me and called my name. I turned around quickly, and just as I did, he punched me straight in the face. He didn't knock me out, but I fell to the ground without saying a word. He stepped over me to go out the door and left me there alone. I iced my eye for a while. It's now swollen and purple. Then I grabbed my bag and left. I called my mom and talked to her while walking so she could hear what happened if he came looking for me. She insisted I was exaggerating what he did, so I sent her a picture of my face. She started crying and apologized for her inconsiderate attitude. I told her it was okay, but I didn't want to be forced to spend any more family occasions with him. I haven't seen him since. I've been living with my new roommate. I've received a few text messages from him, but I haven't replied yet.
Here's what they say.
Text 1. Where have you been? I came home and you were gone. We need to finish this conversation. Text 2. Are you fucking kidding me? Tell me where you are or that you're alive. I'm worried because you suddenly disappeared and it's making me anxious. Text 3. You're acting like a child. Text 4. I don't know what you said to Mom, but you really upset her. I hope you're happy. Text 5. I'll be home all day on Monday. If you want to come over and meet the landlord, let me know, that's fine. Text 6. Where am I going to stay? His girlfriend even sent me a text telling me how worried he was about me. I'm a bit nervous about tomorrow. As I said, I haven't texted him yet to tell him I'll be with him tomorrow. I told my new roommate that I need her to go with me. She suggested that I don't wear makeup, so he can see the truth of what he's doing to my face. I don't know. What do you guys think? Top related comments. Commenters call the police and report the incident. This is not how families should behave. Your brother, despite his good intentions, has absolutely no right to dictate your life in the way he sees fit. It's your life, your decisions, not his. And you're going to send a picture of your black eye to his girlfriend. If he can do it to you, he can definitely do it to her. She needs to know what she's getting into, so she can make her own decisions. As much as I hate to say it, your brother is a controlling, overbearing jerk, and that's how he should be treated. Update the next day. Last night my roommate and I went to the police station and filed a police report. I told them about all the strange things my brother did when we lived together last year. I told them that his girlfriend was an eyewitness to the fight and showed them the text conversation between my mother and me. They also took a picture of my face now, because my face was obviously more visibly bruised than in the picture I sent to my mother. I couldn't think of any questions to ask at the time. I was very nervous and a little overwhelmed, and they didn't provide a lot of information either. They gave me a copy of the report and told me that a detective had been assigned to my case and that he would call me today. I don't know if they will arrest him. I think they have to automatically arrest him in my case, but I'm not sure. I didn't think to ask such a basic question, and I feel really stupid, but I also feel a bit strange that they didn't provide this information. They did tell me that they would be happy to escort me to the apartment to retrieve my belongings if I felt that was necessary. While I was at the police station, his girlfriend called me a few times, but I was obviously busy and didn't answer her calls. I texted her when I was done to ask if it was too late for her to call. She was still awake, so I called to tell her what happened. She apologized to me immediately after she got off the phone. I assured her that what happened was not her fault. I asked her if she had ever done anything like that to me.
She said no.
I hoped she was telling the truth, and I didn't tell her I went to the police. I just said that I wanted her to know about it for her safety. She thanked me and apologized again. She didn't say what she was going to do next, but I told her I would check in to make sure she was okay, and she said she appreciated it. This morning, I called our father. I hadn't spoken to my father since Father's Day. He remarried and has several younger children with his new wife. He's definitely the type of stepfather who neglects the old family in favor of the new one. I didn't expect him to be sympathetic, but he really surprised me. He told me that based on some of my brother's behavior as a child and his propensity for violence towards other children at school before and after the divorce, which no one had ever mentioned to me before, it didn't particularly shock him. Dad is in a pretty good financial position and offered to find me a lawyer if I thought I needed one. He strongly advised me to at least meet with a lawyer to get professional legal advice and decide on the next step. I accepted his advice and will meet with a lawyer after work tomorrow. My brother cannot afford a lawyer himself, and my mother is unable to help him financially. Having a lawyer's help will definitely be an advantage for me. Thank you for giving me the courage to muster the courage to go to the police. I have not contacted my brother yet, and I don't think I will until I meet with my lawyer tomorrow. My mother has sent me a few text messages asking why I haven't contacted my brother. I haven't replied either. Top related comments commenter, it's great to see an update, especially as it seems your brother's girlfriend is on your side and may testify to the police. For now, it's best to keep a low profile. Remember to lock your doors at night and consider buying a can of pepper spray to keep on your keys in case your brother pays another visit. Listen to your lawyer's advice. If you're still at college, the university may offer a safe walk service to get you from point A to point B. I strongly recommend you consider it. I wish you all the best for the coming weeks, and please keep us informed if anything new develops. We sincerely hope that you are safe and sound and have returned to a safe and happy place.